rapid application development platform, and like it comes with an auto configuration features. Like even if you are talking about Spring MVC, there is a Spring Boot MVC which comes with like it has a auto inbuilt teamlib support for it. So yeah, we can create a rapid application. It contained like inside like what embedded servers. So there are three type of servers are there. The Tomcat is the default one. Other than there is a Jetty server is there, Undertow is there, and we are free to choose which server whichever servers we can use for it. So yeah, and also and you can even like create production ready app using Spring Boot. Uh, yeah, and yeah, oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, so like we are the Spring in the Spring Boot it comes with some starter dependency. So there are every starter dependency at its own like work. Basically, there are a lot of starter dependency. Yes. So that's all
Okay.
about Spring Boot.
If I want to use some other application server like a DevOps, how
Hmm.
can I use that?
So for using that, so as I told you that Spring the Tomcat is the default one. So first we
Mhm.
need to we need to remove it from the dependency. So like in the like starter dependency we can exclude it, and then we can add
Mhm.
a new server. So that of it.
Okay, but how can we add new server? What configuration I need to do?
What configuration? So first of all we need to like disable default server from the Spring Boot application. And
How?
even how there is okay, so we have some starter web dependency, right? Inside that there is a Tomcat like, so we need to exclude that from the dependency. So we have to exclusions tab, and using that we can
Mhm.
exclude the Tomcat dependency, and then we can
Mhm.
add a new one using we can add a new dependency over there.
Okay.
Hmm.
What is the difference between controller and REST controller?
Controller and REST controller. Basically, controller annotation is comes in the context of the Spring MVC. REST controller is comes in the context of when you are want to create an REST services. So controller REST controller is nothing but the REST controller is nothing but the formation of controller plus response body. And if you are using REST controller, then it will you are enabled to you can free to use the @get, @post, @put, @patch, @delete annotation. So yeah.
For the one service I'm writing for say customer,
Mhm.
how will what will be your endpoints for that service?
For you are writing services for customers, right? Let
Yeah,
yeah.
customer.
So can I write to you on the chat? So yeah, if slash customers give you the list of customers slash customers customer ID, which retrieving the like particular customer slash customers, so that if you are you doing the put operation on that second endpoint, it will update. You can even update the particular customer using that second endpoint, and even you can delete
Mhm.
that customer using the second endpoint. First one is like if we are using get operation on that endpoint, it will return the list of customers. And if you are doing the post operation on this endpoint, it will add new resources on the server, basically adding new customer in the
Okay.
Hmm.
What is this between gate and post?
Gate and post. So basically gate is something so if you are like technically basically if you are calling the get method again hundred of times, it will not affecting your server. Rather than if you
Mhm.
are calling post, it will repeatedly creating new resources on the server. So basically and yeah, so like gate is something for getting the operation. Post is if you want to add new resources on the server, in that time use a post method.
How, okay, how data get passed to
Yeah,
in gate and
yeah,
in
in
post?
the gate data is passed in the URL parameter. In the post, the data is passed in the request body, basically.
Okay,
Hmm.
great. Which Java version you use?
1.8.
What are new features
Yes.
added in Java 8? Common question. Okay.
Java 1.8 is
Okay.
actually comes with a lot of features, starting from
Mhm.
for each loop. Starting from for each loop, so we can use a for each loop for on a collection. That is one feature. Second is the stream
Mhm.
API introduced in Java 8, which I have used a lot of time. Third one is
Mhm.
a function interface also introduced in Java 8. Functional interface, lambda expression is also introduced in Java 8. Optional classes
Mhm.
also
Okay.
introduced in Java 8. Then the interface enhancement has been done in the Java 8, like adding there are two new method introduced in Java in the interface, default and static, and
Mm.
collector class. And apart from that, which is not or not I used, I think Neston maybe something JavaScript engine which are
Mm.
introduced, and date and time API, which I
Okay.
continue not to use.
Mm.
Mm.
And memory in memory level is there any stack overflow in Java 8? Have you seen?
Yes, most of the time I have seen the Stack Overflow memory, but most of the time I have seen that error, Stack Overflow.
Why stack overflow happens in Java?
Uh, Stack Overflow, not exactly have an answer of it. Why the? But yeah, sometimes like whenever we are trying whenever the we say, I don't know the exact answer for it. But yeah, I've seen that error.
Okay. Have you configured heap size in Java?
Yes, heap size can be configured using, you can even configure in the basically whenever we are deploying the enterprise application, and that time like we are passing in the command terminal, like for Docker, even for Docker deployment, that time we are passing in the the command terminal
Okay.
basically. Minus x, like in that way we are passing.
Okay. Mm. What is Docker?
Docker is a kind of like, if we are Docker is a one sort of deployment platform. So, and initial like previously we are normally we are doing the project in our place and we are transferring that project to the other place. So that will sometimes what happen, this will create a problem, even in the case of any dependencies, if the any dependencies are missing. So Docker is a way of like deploying your application. Even you can deploy your application on Docker, it will create an image, and even you can that push that image to the remote repository. That is one of the example is the Docker hub. So yeah, it's a kind of we can
Okay.
create an
If you
image.
want
Hmm.
if you want to create a Docker image, how can you create?
So for that, we need to create a Docker file, which without extension Docker file, and then we need to write some logic over there. Not a logic basically, just writing some syntax are there, like which image we want to use, Java versions, and then we need to mention the file name, file path, and then we need to at the last we need to provide an entry pointer.
Okay.
Sorry.
You said Kubernetes also you have you
Yes,
know.
Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is
Okay.
also like it's a Google platform, so it's
Mm.
one of the best. So Kubernetes actually it's it uses the Docker image, and what the hell what is the feature of Kubernetes? What? Hello, hello.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay,
No
sorry.
problem. Go ahead.
I think okay. So Kubernetes, what we say, it like we can like a very like simple way to like automatically, we can say automatically deploy, automatically scale.
Mm.
So like it's kind of platform, and it will like so smallest concept in the Kubernetes is a pod. Basically pod is kind of like, in a simple language, is it's like just like a system. So you can create a replica of your pod, and you can deploy your
Mm.
project on that things. So yeah.
Okay. Mm. And how you deploy on Google platform?
Google
Google
platform. So
Cloud.
yeah, so
Google Cloud.
in our current project, they are deploying in a basically they are creating Docker image, and they are deploying that Docker image in a Kubernetes. So basically. But the deployment, so if you are asking the deployment, so sorry, but deploy. So we are is working in agile team. There is a one member of DevOps person. So we and so.
He handles that.
But yeah, we are like definitely we ultimately we have to work in group. So yeah.
Okay. What is different between normal for loop and stream APIs for loop for each?
Normal for so stream APIs comes with like two kind of stream, basically sequential and parallel stream.
Mm-hmm.
The for loop, like it's like it's internally like for loop, for each loop, like it's using the lambda expression inside that for each loop. We can pass like means I'm not getting the context of the question. Can
Okay.
you repeat it again?
Okay. No problem. Then you're you're good here. You're answering my all questions.
No, I know there might be something which I am not saying.
Good. Uh, say if I want to create a say set, okay,
Set, okay.
but yeah, but my order should be maintained.
Uh,
Okay, which collection I need to use?
so if you want to like use the set and in which the order, so there is a there is a special set is there. Let me think about it. I know about it. Headset reset and then insertion on maintain insertion order set. There is one set. Let just give me 1 second. I think
No problem.
entry set. No, not set. Uh, set with I think like linked has set maybe linked has set maybe there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
What is
Linked has
Q?
set. Uh, Q,
Java Q?
yeah.
Yeah.
Q is like it's a part of collection framework. It is a child of collection interface. So
Mm-hmm.
Q, we can say that like it is a part of Java util. So uh, there is a like Q means like it is a kind of data structure which Q is like one we say uh, first FIFO, right, first in first out kind of thing is there. Uh, yeah, FIFO is there like first in first out.
And what is stack?
What is?
Stack. You know stack?
Yes, I know the stack. Stack is I think exactly opposite. Last in first out.
Okay.
Exactly opposite. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. but
Okay, no problem.
yeah.
Dynamic binding.
Dynamic polymorphism you're talking about?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dynamic polymorphism. Yeah.
Yes, I know
You
about it.
can runtime polymorphism.
Runtime polymorphism. So it's like for runtime polymorphism, we can say dynamic polymorphism. So for that, we need one parent class, one child class, which two classes containing same method, same name, same return type, and same number of parameters. That is called a dynamic polymorphism. We can say.
Uh, then what is dynamic? It is a simple
No,
polymorphism
no,
you
no,
said.
no, no. Let's take an example of if
Yeah, give me example.
yeah, sure,
Give me
sure.
example.
Okay. So if there is a parent, if there is a child, okay, and let's take an example
Mm-hmm.
of parent class having some method, which child class doesn't have this method, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
and if you are calling that method using the parent class instance, it will accessible. So can you give the example of that?
Yeah,
Parent
sure.
p equal to new child. Parent class has one hello method, and child class doesn't have that method. So he can child can reuse that method. So yeah, so we can call that p dot hello. It is possible. This is kind of dynamic polymorphism, we can say. On
I think that parent class equal to hello. You said na? That is wrong. I think.
no, hello is a method actually. Hello is a method. This is method is present inside the parent class. So inside the parent class there is a method hello, which is not present in the child class. So we still accessible using that hello, like that. If you want to, like, I can write on the full code if you want.
Mm,
Let me write it down. Otherwise, it becomes
okay, no problem.
okay.
No problem.
No problem. Okay.
Uh, ask you. Yeah, I think everything. Yeah, uncatch.
No, no. Java is too vast. Yeah, we cannot say that I can. Yeah, but yeah, definitely I'm working with the cross technology. So like, it is difficult to keep tracking all these things. Even
Okay.
so, you can ask me the question related to APG also. I have a good knowledge of that.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know that one.
Okay.
Uh, What are functional interfaces?
Functional interfaces are the interfaces which containing only one abstract method, but it might be contain the number of default and static method. So it must be having one abstract method. So we can either, and there is an annotation functional interface which is not mandatory one. You can like it is depending on us. Second, we can implement that functional interfaces using lambda expression. If you want that example, I will give you.
No.
No.
What is the benefit of that annotation?
Annotation like so it is not mandatory one. The annotation is not mandatory one. So like even if you are creating interface without with creating only one abstract method, that will be fine for you, I think. Yeah. So
Yeah, but what is the benefit
of annotation?
Mm-hmm.
Annotation is like it mentioning annotation. I'm not like annotation annotate it, right, using functional interface. So the special meaning of for the annotation I am not no. So
that is okay. But if you mark that method as a functional interface, sorry, that class as functional.
So it will
interface, okay.
It will good at checking compile time. That will be
but that is okay. But you suppose you left that organization and somebody else came to work on that and he add some interface or some method in that. Okay, abstract. That time that is required, na?
Yes, it's right.
If you mark that, okay, so compile time exception will come.
Compile exception, but right.
That is why it is mandatory. Okay, yes. If you writing that interface as a functional interface, that you should mark that.
Okay,
so that nobody other will work on that or add any abstract method.
Right.
Yeah. What are best practices of web services?
What are the best practices of
web services or microservices?
Web services, so both web services and like microservices both are rely on the HTTP protocol basically. So the what we say the like URI is the most important thing. So we need to like properly like even in the example of customers. So that is the best practices. If we are like we need to properly map with the like these URLs. So URLs is a like in the RESTful word in the web server, like in the RESTful word the like we can say URL is the most important part. So yeah, we need to like we should be like give the proper noun for it, like properly uh, map with these nouns. So that is one thing. Second thing, yeah, if you are talking about the code practices, so code, so any code. So if you are talking about the microservices as per name, it is a services, it is small services. So while you breaking down your application into small component, you make to sure that it should be like we can say independent from each other. And yeah, that is one thing. And if you're talking about the code standard, so we need to like code standard. So I personally maintain like I'm not creating like big methods basically. I'm trying to maintain the small methods, even like 10-15 lines of methods max to max, that is max to max. And like yeah, there is a code beautifier is there, so like it already like while compiling it will showing the error if we are not properly doing the code, like properly writing the code.
You mean to say you should your service should return status?
Yeah, service should return the proper status. And one more thing, that service should not return any kind of we can say not a secret, but the important data which are like even like let's take an example of if your services might be written your this is so your database is down and it might be returning any kind of like your this database URL. So that kind of response is not good thing to get back in a response. So we need to write down some proper responses, we need to map with the proper error responses. So that should be taken care by the app, like the API developer.
Okay. How you validate your data in microservices?
Oh, validate means I'm not like Validate means
Suppose some form is submitted, okay, and on server side, how you validate that the data is correct, which need to process further.
so we are like what we are doing say uh, we are like there is a like a cross-site scripting. We are writing some we are writing some methods which are in which the data should be passed and the data should be checked. But yeah, in our if you are asking the in our architecture, basically in our architecture they are using APG. So in the APG we have some policies like XML protection and JSON protection, which are actually all this is taken care by the APG. So if someone try to send some malicious request or even some database configuration in the request, it will stop there from the going to the backend services. So that is one way. But if you are asking this, how we can doing this in a like our microservices. So in our project, it is not
Yes, yes.
mandatory as it is covered in IPG, but we can we can what do you say filter the things, filter the input whatever we get using like special as cross site scripting things.
Say suppose I'm submitting some one form, say customer, okay, I'm taking data of customer, first name, last name, date of birth, and so, okay.
Hmm.
How can I validate that data?
Uh,
Is there any special way?
but that is depend on in which technology you are like working, Spring Boot or core Java application.
Spring Boot.
So Spring Boot, yeah, we can create a custom annotation to validate the data. Basically, there are features some we can even, and even like if you are dealing with beans, basically beans, so we can even provide the inside the bean also we can provide that at the rate required annotation,
Yeah.
and yeah, not empty, not
Okay.
blank.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I have just wanted to hear that.
okay, sorry. So that is
It's a hybrid validator we generally use. Okay.
okay.
Uh, um, you have 4 years experience, no? 4.5.
4.3 something.
Okay. You know, you know DevTools? What is DevTools?
DevTools, Spring Boot DevTools is a kind of thing which we can like dynamically, if you are saving something, it will dynamically like compile and run in the Spring Boot application. So it
Okay.
quickly like running application while compiling.
Mhm.
I got phone, sorry.
Okay. Uh, have you created database connection in
Yeah.
Spring Boot?
So in the Spring Boot, we have some using Spring Data JPA basically for that Spring Data JPA. So for that, number one, we need to add that dependence. Number two, we need to open the application.properties or application.yaml files. We need to write some configuration. What that configuration? So configuration is like that URL, username, password. So yeah. So this.
Okay.
So these things. If you are if you are working with core Java application or just normal servlet, so in that case you need to write some loading driver classes and getting connection using driver manager.get connection, and then yeah, in this way.
Have you dot class?
Driver class.for name using class.for name. Yes.
What it does actually?
It will register the classes, basically load the classes and load the classes. Even in the reflection API are there. There also like this is method, right? Loading the classes class.for name.
Okay, actually, I'm done.
Oh,
Do you have any questions?
uh, yes or no? Yes, yes.
Okay, ask me.
Uh, so, what do you think? In which like section you think that I'm weak? So I can check it definitely after this call.
No, yeah, you're good. Actually, your experience is not much. That is why I can't. So I can't ask you so much things. Okay.
But
That
but you
that
can
will
try.
dive into
Okay, no problem.
Okay then.
Okay.
According to your experience, you're good.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay then, yeah. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye. Bye. Crack. अरे recording करून ठेव बोलायला.